Do you have the ability as a vendor to this agency? Do you have the ability to say, because I think nobody would argue that's good, right? But do you have the ability to say to them, we will sell you to this technology for these applications, but not for these ones?
Again, we work with HSI, which is a distinct group. But no, I mean, like, we support the American government. I think our CEO has said many times that Silicon Valley shouldn't be the people who are picking winners and losers. We live in a democracy. We want that democracy to be self-correcting. Many people at Palantir, myself included, have rigorous debate and have many discussions and disagreements about this. But we ultimately think that the impact and the mission of HSI in particular is important enough. 3,000 child predators and 850 kids being saved because of our work, that it's worth sticking with the government in this instance.
So would it be fair to sum up and say that, in your view, the good outweighs the bad of what the technology is doing?
I think what I'm trying to say is that we don't work for political parties or administrations. We work for democratic institutions and institutions that impact the lives of many people, and we think that our technology is better. Those institutions are better with our technology. Privacy is more protected. They are more deliberate. They're more effective than otherwise.
And just real quick, I do want to open up to you guys for questions. But going back to just explaining what Palantir does and the mystique around the company early on, do you feel like you are having to sort of revisit, how you brand the company, how you communicate both externally and internally because of the recent controversies?
I mean, I think on the branding question, like, we've never thought about that because we're focused on the mission. I mean, our like secretive mystique is really truly because we're thinking about soldiers who are telling us that we're saving their life because they're able to detect roadside bombs with our software. Like, that is what we've been thinking about this entire time. So I think in terms of a brand or reset or anything like that, like, we are still single focused on those individuals and the people on the front line. I think internally we have a lot of conversations. We try to be incredibly thoughtful. We try to hold complexity. We try to see the nuance in kind of today's political environment and not rush to that black and white thinking. And that's always been the case. It's been very steeped in our culture from the get-go, and certainly more so in the last couple of years. But I think most people who work at Palantir accept that and embrace the impact of our work and the mission being good for society and pretty important.
Questions from the audience. Please raise your hand if you would like to ask Ryan a question. This clearly is, such a light topic.
I know, right?
Okay, so talk a little bit more about some of the, you guys have been around for 15 years, and some of the conversation that I hear, at least recently, about Palantir is very forward-looking, if it's not about the controversy. So I feel like we've been talking about you going public for the last 10 years or so. What do the right conditions look like for Palantir to actually go public?
That is a great question for our CEO, and you will probably know the second I know. But again, it's not something day to day. My teams don't think about the IPO every day. I think we're thinking about the needs of soldiers and how near-peer conflict is going to change the way the military operates. We're thinking about the human trafficking investigations that we have to integrate that next data set for the customers so they can piece all those things together. We focus on those individuals and real people on the front lines, and the IPO is not top of mind, but I'm sure it'll happen someday.
Yes, you have plenty of investors
who
I think would be very happy with that. We've got a question over here.
Hi.
Hi, Kathy Dinas. I'm really curious about the impact that the work that you're having has on the children that are in cages, so not saved by the other half of the work that you're doing. Because I think that number far outweighs the 800. Not that the 800 is not important, but where do you see the work that Palantir is doing to kind of...
So again, the part of ICE that works on enforcement and removal operations is called ERO. It's a different agency within ICE, and our contract has never been with that agency. when agencies have different contracts, they have different tech stacks, they have different, like, people from that organization cannot access our Palantir stack with HSI. In the Trump administration,
I feel that the work supports the other. Like, if you're looking at one data and it's being kind of...
I've never seen a substantiated claim that Palantir has directly been involved in that type of work. I think with the Trump administration over the last couple years, it is possible that HSI and ERO have started to do some joint operations, but our work is 99%, again, about transnational crime. That's the mandate of HSI, and it's the work that we do, and we don't have a contract with enforcement and removal.
Well, I think what has come up more commonly or has been associated has been the workplace raids and deportations.
Yeah, and that's the jurisdiction of ERO. So, yeah.
Not to invalidate your question in any way, of course.
Totally
I understand it's the same agency. So, okay. Let's end it on another very, very quick, brief question. You have been kind of pulling out of Silicon Valley a bit. Is that something that's strategic? Is it happening? It seems like there's less a Palantir presence in Silicon Valley.
No, I mean, we haven't pulled out of Silicon Valley at all. It's still our headquarters. We're still in Palo Alto. We're still on 100 Hamilton. We definitely have a growing presence all around the world. We have a lot of people in New York and London and Europe, but we're still committed to Silicon Valley, and it's still
the center for you guys?
Still the center of the company.
Okay, great. Well, thank you.
Awesome.
I hope you will come back and talk to us again next year.
Thanks so much, Mahal.
Ryan.
Thank you all.
Thank you.